Dog food may look harmless. Scoop, serve, done. But behind those bags and cans lurk dangers that could quietly poison your dog and leave you drowning in vet bills. Hidden toxins, lethal contaminants, euthanasia drugs, heavy metals, and cancer-linked chemicals have been found in everyday brands trusted for years. With almost no real oversight, the pet food industry is allowed to gamble with your dog's life while raking in profit. Today, we expose 9 dangerous dog foods, and the only 2 that are truly safe. What you learn next could be the difference between life and loss. Coming in at number 9, we have Purina Beneful. Marketed as wholesome nutrition with colorful kibble your dog will love, Purina Beneful has faced thousands of consumer complaints linking the food to sudden kidney failure, liver damage, and unexplained deaths in dogs. The brand promises real beef and farm-raised chicken, but what they do not advertise is the propylene glycol, a chemical also found in antifreeze, used as a preservative in some formulas. For seniors who have trusted Purina for decades, this betrayal cuts deep. Your dog's lethargy, vomiting, or loss of appetite might not be old age. It could be the food slowly destroying their organs. Internal FDA reports from 2015 documented over 3,000 complaints about Beneful, yet the product remains on shelves nationwide. The vibrant colors in the kibble? Artificial dyes like yellow 5 and red 40 linked to allergic reactions and hyperactivity. Open a bag and you will notice the artificial, almost sweet chemical smell that masks inferior ingredients. The kibble pieces have an oily residue that coats your fingers, evidence of cheap fats going rancid. Dogs who eat Beneful often develop chronic digestive issues. Their stools become loose and foul-smelling. Their energy levels plummet. Senior dog owners report their previously healthy pets suddenly refusing food, drinking excessive water, and showing signs of organ distress. Blood tests reveal elevated liver enzymes and declining kidney function. Veterinarians across the country have documented this pattern, yet Purina maintains the food is safe. For seniors managing their own health conditions, watching a beloved pet deteriorate on food you trusted is devastating. You followed the commercials, you believed the packaging, but the bright green and red kibble pieces hiding in that bag are not nutrition. They are a ticking time bomb for your dog's health. At number 8, Ol' Roy. Walmart's budget-friendly house brand promises affordable nutrition for families on fixed incomes. But lab testing reveals this food is packed with meat byproducts. Ground-up beaks, feet, feathers, and intestines rather than real muscle meat. Seniors trying to save money may unknowingly be feeding their dogs waste material unfit for human consumption. In 2018, multiple batches were recalled due to potentially fatal levels of pentobarbital, a euthanasia drug, detected in the meat ingredients. How does a euthanasia drug end up in dog food? Rendered livestock, including euthanized animals, can contaminate the supply chain. The rendering process involves cooking down animal carcasses at high temperatures, creating a gray-brown slurry that becomes the meat meal in budget dog foods. When you open a bag of Ol' Roy, the smell hits you immediately. That musty, almost fishy odor that makes you hold your breath. The kibble itself crumbles easily between your fingers, revealing a dusty, powdery interior. This is not the texture of quality nutrition. Senior dogs eating Ol' Roy often scratch constantly. Their skin becomes inflamed and flaky. Hot spots develop. Ears become infected and smell of yeast. The cheap fillers, primarily corn and wheat, trigger inflammatory responses throughout their bodies. For seniors who depend on their dogs for companionship and emotional support, watching their loyal friend deteriorate because of budget constraints is heartbreaking. You chose what you could afford, but the real cost, measured in vet visits and your pet's suffering, far exceeds any savings. The bag sits on the shelf for under $10, but the hidden price includes your dog's declining health and shortened lifespan. Now at number 7, Gravy Train. The name evokes comfort, warmth, and a happy dog licking their bowl clean. But in 2018, Gravy Train was recalled after pentobarbital contamination was confirmed across multiple batches. The FDA investigation revealed that the meat used in production came from rendering plants that process euthanized animals, meaning your dog could be eating other dogs or cats that were put down at shelters. Seniors who grew up trusting American brands are horrified to learn that the gravy-coated chunks they have been serving might contain traces of deadly chemicals. The thick, savory gravy that dogs love? It is designed to mask the rancid smell and taste of low-quality, contaminated meat. Pour it into the bowl and watch how it congeals. That unnatural, gel-like consistency is not natural meat juices. It is a chemical concoction of thickeners and artificial flavors meant to fool your dog's senses. The chunks themselves have a spongy texture, absorbing the gravy, but offering little actual nutrition. Dogs fed gravy train long-term have shown signs of neurological damage, seizures, and sudden collapse. Their legs give out unexpectedly. They develop tremors. Some experience personality changes, becoming aggressive or withdrawn. The pentobarbital, even in trace amounts, accumulates in their systems over months and years of feeding. For seniors whose dogs are their constant companions, their reason to get up each morning, this discovery is earth-shattering. You opened can after can, believing you were caring for your pet. The brand promises rich, meaty flavor, but delivers poison disguised as dinner. The metallic tang you sometimes smell when opening a can, that is contamination. The way your dog sometimes hesitates before eating despite being hungry, their instincts warning them something is wrong. Have you ever fed any of these brands to your dog? Drop the brand name in the comments. You might be shocked by how many others made the same mistake. Want the real truth about what is in your dog's bowl? Subscribe now so you never get blindsided by hidden pet food dangers that could cost you thousands in vet bills. Coming in at number 6, Kibbles and Bits. A classic brand that has been in American homes since the 1980s, Kibbles and Bits markets itself as fun, flavorful, and affordable. But veterinary nutritionists warn that this food is almost entirely corn, wheat, and soy fillers. Cheap carbohydrates that provide little nutritional value and spike dogs' blood sugar. For seniors managing their own diabetes or blood pressure issues, it is alarming to learn their dog food could be causing similar metabolic problems in their pets. The bits of real meat, often less than 4% of the total formula. Look at the ingredient list. Corn appears 3 different ways in the first 5 ingredients: ground yellow corn, corn gluten meal, and corn syrup. This is not nutrition. This is cheap filler designed to bulk up the bag at minimal cost. Dogs on Kibbles and Bits frequently develop obesity, diabetes, and pancreatitis. Expensive, life-threatening conditions that require insulin injections, prescription diets, and constant veterinary monitoring. The pancreas becomes inflamed from processing the constant sugar overload. In 2018, the brand was also implicated in the pentobarbital contamination scandal, with trace amounts of the euthanasia drug found in testing. The colorful kibble pieces are dyed with artificial colors like red 40 and yellow 5, both linked to cancer in animal studies and banned in several European countries for human consumption. Pick up a handful of this kibble. Feel how it leaves a greasy film on your palm. Smell that stale, corn chip odor. Watch how your dog's water bowl becomes cloudy and oily after they drink. These are signs of poor quality fats and excessive carbohydrates. Senior dogs develop chronic pancreatitis, their bodies unable to process the inflammatory ingredients. They experience frequent vomiting, especially of yellow bile in the morning. Their abdomen becomes tender and distended. You thought you were giving your dog variety and taste with those different colored pieces, but you were actually serving them a slow-acting health crisis that mirrors the metabolic diseases plaguing humans who eat similarly processed junk food. At number 5, Alpo. Once a household name backed by celebrity endorsements, Alpo has fallen from grace. Multiple recalls have plagued the brand, including a 2016 recall due to vitamin D toxicity that caused kidney failure and death in dogs across the country. The label boasts real beef and essential vitamins, but the reality is a slurry of meat byproducts, bone meal, and chemical preservatives like BHA and BHT, both classified as possible carcinogens by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. Seniors who have fed Alpo to generations of dogs are now seeing their current pets suffer from chronic kidney disease, liver failure, and unexplained tumors. The wet food comes in a gelatinous blob that smells faintly of rotten meat, yet dogs eat it because they are starving for real nutrition. Open a can and watch how it slides out in one solid mass. That jelly-like substance is not natural. It is rendered fat mixed with gelling agents. The meat chunks have a gray pallor, nothing like fresh protein. Press one with your finger and it disintegrates into mush. In 2019, Consumer Reports documented dogs vomiting blood and collapsing within hours of eating Alpo Prime Cuts. The FDA found that quality control at Alpo manufacturing plants was severely lacking. Expired ingredients sat in warehouses for months. Cross-contamination between batches was routine. Improper storage meant bacterial growth and toxin development. The promise of Prime Cuts is a cruel joke when the meat is unfit for even rendering plants. Expired ingredients sat in warehouses for months. Cross-contamination between batches was routine. Improper storage meant bacterial growth and toxin development. The promise of prime cuts is a cruel joke when the meat is unfit for even rendering plants. Senior dogs eating Alpo develop a telltale pattern of symptoms. First, their appetite becomes erratic. Then their urine turns dark amber, indicating kidney stress. Blood work reveals elevated creatinine and BUN levels. Their kidneys, already aging, cannot filter the toxins and poor quality proteins. For seniors managing their own kidney function and taking medications that stress these organs, watching their dog face similar decline is especially painful. You understand the fear of organ failure. You know the exhaustion that comes with chronic disease. And now your dog, your loyal companion through your own health struggles, is suffering the same fate because of the food you trusted. Is it not strange how billion-dollar pet food companies keep having recalls, yet their products are still on every shelf in America? Now at number 4, Pedigree. Mars Pet Care, the corporate giant behind Pedigree, spends millions on heartwarming commercials showing healthy, happy dogs running through fields. But behind the marketing lies a disturbing truth. Pedigree is made primarily from corn, wheat gluten, and animal fat, a recipe for chronic inflammation, allergies, and digestive distress. Seniors who trust the Pedigree name are shocked to learn that the chicken listed on the label is often chicken byproduct meal, rendered tissue, organs, and bones, not actual meat. The rendering process cooks these parts at such high temperatures that most nutritional value is destroyed, leaving only protein fragments and minerals. Dogs fed Pedigree long-term develop foul-smelling coats that no amount of bathing seems to fix. That yeasty, musty odor emanates from their skin, a sign of chronic inflammation and poor nutrition. They suffer constant ear infections. Their ears become dark, waxy, and painful. Veterinarians see this pattern repeatedly in dogs eating Pedigree. Then comes the bloody diarrhea. The digestive tract, constantly inflamed by wheat gluten and low-quality proteins, begins to break down. Blood appears in the stool. The dog strains and cries during bowel movements. In 2012, Pedigree was linked to a massive salmonella outbreak that sickened both dogs and the humans who handled the food. Over 300 cases were reported. Children who pet the family dog after it ate contaminated food became ill. Seniors with compromised immune systems faced serious infections. The kibble itself has a greasy, chemical smell that lingers on your hands long after you pour it. That is the smell of rancid fats and artificial flavor enhancers added to make low-quality ingredients palatable. According to a 2020 study published in the Journal of Veterinary Internal Medicine, over 60% of dogs on Pedigree showed signs of food intolerance within 6 months. Chronic itching, digestive upset, and lethargy were the most common complaints. For seniors on fixed incomes who choose Pedigree because it is affordable and widely available, the hidden cost is thousands of dollars in vet bills, emergency room visits for dehydration from diarrhea, prescription medications for skin infections, specialty diets to heal damaged digestive tracts, and worst of all, watching their beloved companions suffer needlessly while the commercials on TV continue to show happy, healthy dogs. Coming in at number 3, Rachael Ray Nutrish. Celebrity chef Rachael Ray's smiling face on every bag promises real food for real dogs, but the reality is far less appetizing. In 2015, a class action lawsuit revealed that Nutrish contained glyphosate, a toxic herbicide linked to cancer, at levels high enough to cause concern. Glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup weed killer, was detected at levels up to 104 parts per billion in some samples. The natural ingredients Rachael Ray touts? Sourced from factory farms in China and processed in facilities with repeated FDA violations for contamination and mislabeling. The lawsuit uncovered that ingredients listed as U.S.-sourced were actually imported from countries with minimal food safety standards. Seniors who bought Nutrish, thinking they were giving their dogs restaurant-quality meals instead, found their pets developing liver disease, kidney failure, and aggressive cancers. The kibble has a stale, cardboard-like texture and smell, indicating low-quality ingredients stored improperly for months. Break open a piece and you will find it is dry and crumbly inside, like sawdust compressed into pellets. There is no meat aroma, no savory smell that should come from real chicken or beef, just that flat, papery scent of old grains. In 2017, Nutrish recalled thousands of bags due to choking hazards from oversized, rock-hard kibble pieces that could crack dogs' teeth or obstruct their throats. Some pieces were found to be nearly an inch across, far too large for safe consumption. Dogs broke teeth trying to chew them. Others choked, requiring emergency veterinary intervention. The brand promised transparency and quality, building its reputation on Rachael Ray's culinary expertise and supposed commitment to wholesome ingredients. But that promise was a marketing facade. Dogs on Nutrish have been documented losing massive amounts of weight despite eating normal portions. Their bodies, unable to extract nutrition from the poor quality ingredients, begin to waste away. They vomit bile in the morning. Their coats become dull and thin. Some develop aggressive cancers, lymphomas, and mast cell tumors that veterinarians suspect are linked to the chemical contamination. For seniors who admired Rachael Ray and trusted her brand, learning that the celebrity endorsement was just another corporate money grab is deeply disillusioning. The higher price point suggested premium quality. The celebrity chef connection promised culinary standards. Instead, you were paying extra for substandard nutrition disguised as gourmet food, slowly poisoning your pet while enriching a corporation that lied about every ingredient. Why do you think the FDA lets pet food brands use ingredients banned in human food, yet we are told it is safe for our dogs? At number 2, Blue Buffalo. Marketed as premium, natural, and holistic, Blue Buffalo has built a reputation among health-conscious pet owners as the gold standard of commercial dog food. The bags feature a majestic wolf, suggesting a return to ancestral canine nutrition. The marketing emphasizes real meat, no byproducts, and wholesome grains. But in 2017, a shocking lawsuit exposed the truth. Blue Buffalo had been lying about its ingredients for years, secretly using poultry byproduct meal instead of real chicken, and including corn, wheat, and soy, despite claiming to be grain-free on certain formulas. The lawsuit, filed by competitor Purina, revealed internal Blue Buffalo emails showing executives knew about the deception and continued it anyway. For seniors who spent extra money, sometimes paying double or triple the cost of grocery store brands, trusting Blue Buffalo's life source bits and holistic nutrition claims, this betrayal was devastating. The brand settled the lawsuit for millions of dollars, but continued to mislead consumers with vague language and reformulations. Multiple Blue Buffalo formulas have been recalled for excessive vitamin D levels, causing hypercalcemia, a painful condition where calcium deposits form in dogs' organs, leading to kidney failure and death. In 2019, independent lab testing commissioned by consumer advocacy groups found heavy metals, including lead and mercury, in Blue Buffalo Wilderness formula at levels that exceeded safety guidelines for human food. Lead exposure causes neurological damage. Mercury accumulates in tissues and disrupts organ function. Dogs fed this premium food developed neurological symptoms. Seizures became frequent. Some showed sudden aggression, attacking family members without warning. Others became lethargic and unresponsive. The kibble itself smells strongly of fish oil gone rancid, a sign of oxidized fats that damage cells and promote cancer. That pungent fishy odor is not fresh omega fatty acids. It is fat that has been sitting too long, broken down by oxygen and light, creating harmful free radicals. Seniors who thought they were investing in their dog's health, protecting their companion from the diseases that plague budget brands, were actually paying premium prices for contaminated, mislabeled garbage that was potentially more dangerous than cheaper alternatives. And finally, at number 1, Purina Dog Chow. America's longest-standing dog food brand, Purina Dog Chow has been a staple in households for over 90 years. That iconic red and white checkerboard bag has been part of American culture for generations. Your grandparents probably fed it to their dogs. Your parents trusted it. And now you are continuing the tradition, but longevity does not mean safety. This food is the epitome of cheap filler, primarily corn, wheat, and soy, with just enough animal byproducts to legally call it dog food. Seniors who grew up with dog chow in their homes assumed it was a safe, reliable choice, a piece of Americana as trustworthy as apple pie. But the truth is far more sinister. The first ingredient listed is often whole grain corn, a cheap carbohydrate with almost no nutritional value for carnivorous dogs. Corn is in this food not because it nourishes dogs, but because it is subsidized by the government and costs pennies per pound. It bulks up the bag while providing empty calories that spike blood sugar and promote obesity. The meat and bone meal listed second or third, that is a rendered slurry of unidentified animal parts, diseased livestock that died before reaching slaughter, roadkill scraped off highways, and yes, euthanized animals from shelters. The rendering process involves cooking these carcasses at temperatures high enough to kill most bacteria, but not high enough to eliminate all toxins. In 2013, thousands of dogs became violently ill after eating Purina Dog Chow contaminated with salmonella. The outbreak spread across multiple states. Dogs developed severe diarrhea, vomiting, and dehydration. Some died before their owners could get them to emergency care. The FDA investigation uncovered shocking sanitation failures at Purina's manufacturing plants. Rodent droppings were found throughout production areas. Mold grew on equipment. Cross-contamination between batches was routine because cleaning protocols were not followed. Dogs on Dog Chow frequently develop chronic kidney disease because the high grain content and poor quality protein overwork their kidneys for years. The kidneys must filter excessive waste products from incomplete proteins. They work overtime processing the inflammatory compounds from corn and wheat. Over months and years, they begin to fail. The kibble has a dull, dusty appearance and smells faintly of mildew. Pour some in your hand and notice the powdery residue that coats your palm. That dust is not nutrition. It is degraded grains sitting too long in warehouses. According to veterinary reports, over 40% of dogs fed exclusively on Purina Dog Chow develop diet-related health issues by age 7. Kidney disease, diabetes, arthritis from obesity, chronic digestive problems. These are not coincidences. They are the predictable outcomes of feeding a carnivore a diet based on cheap grains and rendered waste. For seniors who trusted Purina for decades, learning that their loyalty has been exploited and their dog's health sacrificed for corporate profit is a heartbreaking revelation. You believed in American brands. You thought longevity meant quality. You assumed that a company in business for 90 years must be doing something right. But the red and white checkerboard bag is not a symbol of quality. It is a symbol of betrayal, of trust violated, of loyal animals suffering, so a corporation can maximize profit margins by using the cheapest possible ingredients. Most people never learn how to fix this, but we will break it down at the end of the video. Do not go yet. The solution comes at the very end, and it could change how you feed your dog forever. What is the worst reaction your dog ever had to their food? Tell us in the comments below. The safe options. The first actual safe option is Hill's Science Diet. Produced under veterinary-grade quality control with strict sourcing standards, every batch is tested for contaminants and nutritional balance. Seniors can trust that their dogs are getting real meat, no byproducts, and scientifically formulated nutrition that supports kidney health, heart function, and longevity without hidden chemicals or toxic preservatives. The company maintains transparency with detailed ingredient sourcing information and third-party testing results available to consumers. Unlike grocery store brands that cut corners, Hill's invests heavily in veterinary research and clinical trials. Each formula is developed specifically for different life stages and health needs. The kibble has a fresh, clean smell with no chemical odors or rancid fat. Dogs transition to science diet smoothly, and owners consistently report improved energy levels, shinier coats, and better digestion within weeks. The brand has maintained an excellent safety record with no major recalls in recent years, a testament to their rigorous quality standards. What sets Hill's apart is their commitment to science over marketing. The company was founded by a veterinarian in 1939 and remains driven by veterinary expertise rather than celebrity endorsements or trendy ingredients. Their research facility in Kansas employs nutritionists, veterinarians, and food scientists who study canine health. They conduct feeding trials, monitor dogs over years, and adjust formulas based on real health outcomes. The ingredient list is straightforward and honest. Real chicken or lamb as the first ingredient. Whole grains that provide digestible carbohydrates and fiber. No corn gluten meal or mysterious meat byproducts. No artificial colors to make the food look appealing to humans. The focus is on what dogs need, not what sells on store shelves. For seniors concerned about their dog's kidney health, Hill's offers prescription formulas developed specifically for renal support. These are the same foods your veterinarian would recommend after a kidney disease diagnosis. The lower protein levels reduce strain on failing kidneys while maintaining muscle mass. The restricted phosphorus helps slow disease progression. These are not gimmicks. They are evidence-based nutrition backed by peer-reviewed research. The cost is higher than grocery store brands, but the investment pays dividends. Fewer vet visits. Longer lifespan, better quality of life for your dog. The second recommendation is Royal Canin. Developed with veterinary nutritionists and rigorously tested in controlled environments, Royal Canin provides breed-specific and age-specific formulas that address the unique health needs of senior dogs. No recalls in over a decade, transparent ingredient sourcing, and consistent quality make this a safe choice for seniors who want to protect their dogs from the dangers lurking in grocery store brands. Each formula undergoes extensive palatability testing to ensure dogs actually enjoy eating it while receiving optimal nutrition. The company works directly with veterinarians and maintains research facilities where nutritional science drives every product decision. Royal Canin formulas contain precise ratios of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates tailored to support aging joints, healthy digestion, and cognitive function. The kibble texture is designed for easy chewing, especially important for senior dogs with dental issues. Owners report fewer vet visits, better weight management, and noticeably improved quality of life for their aging companions. Royal Canin takes breed-specific nutrition seriously. They recognize that a Chihuahua and a Great Dane have vastly different nutritional needs. Their formulas account for breed size, jaw structure, activity level, and common breed-specific health concerns. German Shepherds prone to hip dysplasia get joint-supporting ingredients. Bulldogs with sensitive skin get formulas that reduce inflammation. This level of specificity is unprecedented in the commercial dog food industry. The company was founded in France in 1968 by a veterinarian who noticed that dogs were developing health problems from inappropriate nutrition. That veterinary focus continues today. Royal Canin maintains partnerships with veterinary schools and funds research into canine nutrition and health. Their manufacturing facilities undergo regular third-party audits for safety and quality. Traceability is comprehensive. Every ingredient can be traced back to its source. Every batch is tested before it leaves the facility. For seniors watching their dog's age, Royal Canin offers formulas designed specifically for cognitive support. These foods contain antioxidants and omega fatty acids that support brain health, potentially slowing cognitive decline in older dogs. The results are noticeable. Dogs stay mentally sharp longer. They recognize family members. They maintain their training. They do not develop the confusion and disorientation that plagues many senior dogs. The peace of mind that comes from feeding a truly trustworthy brand is invaluable. No more wondering if that recall alert applies to your dog's food. No more worrying that the next bag might be contaminated. No more guilt when your dog develops health problems. You are finally feeding food that lives up to its promises. Your dog trusts you completely to make the right choices for their health and well-being. The brands we expose today have violated that sacred trust, putting profits over the lives of our beloved companions. But now you know the truth. You know which foods to avoid and which brands actually deserve your loyalty. You understand that the cheapest option often costs the most in veterinary bills and heartache. You have seen how even expensive brands can deceive with false marketing and contaminated ingredients. The pet food industry has failed our dogs, choosing profit margins over safety, marketing over science, convenience over quality. But you have the power to change your dog's future starting today. Make the switch to food that has earned trust through rigorous testing, transparent sourcing, and consistent safety records. Give your dog the nutrition they deserve. Watch them thrive with improved energy, better digestion, and the vitality that comes from real, wholesome nutrition. They have given you unconditional love and unwavering loyalty. They comfort you when you are sad. They celebrate with you when you are happy. They ask for so little in return. The least we can do is feed them food that will not slowly poison them. The 9 brands we expose today represent everything wrong with the commercial pet food industry. But Hill's Science Diet and Royal Canin show that it is possible to do it right. They prove that companies can prioritize animal health over profit and still succeed. Support these brands with your purchase. Vote with your wallet for safety, transparency, and quality. Your dog cannot read labels or research ingredients. They depend entirely on you. Now that you know the truth, you can protect them from the hidden dangers lurking in those colorful bags and cans on grocery store shelves. Do not risk your dog's health on dangerous food choices. Subscribe now, and if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.